And we're back at Up North at 4. Today we are joined with Ted Rolsey, who is the Lake Guy promoting lake education and stewardship. Ted, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So Ted, you have a book out all about lakes and different kind of history. And in your book, you mentioned beautiful blue water, taking a summer dip, but a lake is so much more than that. It's a collection of worlds. Can you share more about that?
Yeah, lakes are complex ecosystems, and they're very different from just looking at the surface of the water. There's so much that goes on underneath the water and above the water and around in the ring of life around the lake and on the bottom of the lake. So there's just a tremendous amount to learn about lakes once you dig into it.
So is that what your book focuses on, exploring all aspects of lake life?
That's basically it. It's what makes a lake tick, all the different kinds of life that are in it, and the physical, chemical, and biological processes that make the ecosystem function.
And you grew up, or you live on a lake now, rather, in Harshaw. How has that personal experience impacted your life? You seem to get really passionate about it.
It was a dream of mine ever since I was a kid, taking vacations on a lake in the Northwoods to have our own lake place for my wife and me and my family. And we've had that since about 2009. And it's just wonderful to be able to experience a lake every day in all the seasons of the year.
And, moving, because, summer, we're heading into fall now. So obviously the seasons do an impact on the lakes and how it changes.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Fall is my favorite time to be on the lake, and especially because of the fall color. But also because being a fisherman, the fish tend to get a lot hungrier in fall, and so fishing can be really excellent in autumn.
So I want you to explain that a little bit more. I'm a novice fisherman, but I know that big muskie season is in the fall. Can you explain a little bit more why fish are biting during the fall?
Well, basically they're larding up for winter. They're going to be less active during the winter, and so they tend to feed more heavily. You mentioned muskie fishing. I'm not really a muskie angler myself, but the muskie anglers in fall, a lot of them use great big 12 to 16 inch long suckers for bait. A lot of people would be happy to catch that as a fish.
Have you ever caught a muskie?
I have. I've caught, depending how you define it, 2 or 3.
Okay.
Only one on purpose. The others were basically caught while walleye fishing by mistake.
Very cool, okay.
And Ted, there's a lot also that goes on during the autumn around the lakes. The water turns over, right?
Right. In the summertime, there's a layer of warm water on the surface of the lake and a layer of colder, denser water on the bottom, and the two layers don't mix very much. And then in fall, as the air temperature warms up or cools down, that top layer of water cools down, and pretty soon the wind action stirs the whole lake and infuses the lake with oxygen, which is what all the fish and other creatures are going to need to get through the winter.
Is that why people like to fish at the base of dams, because there's a lot of oxygen, of water rushing in?
No, there's a lot of oxygen below a dam. There's also a lot of food that comes over the dam, so the fish are happy to have that.
Cool. Well, Ted, I have more questions for you. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Okay.